Hello. So earlier I was already recording a review of the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and I spent 15 minutes recording that and an hour uploading that, and then it turned out the recording software crashed and recorded the video without any sound. And then I watched my video on YouTube and noticed there was not any sound, and I had to delete it. Amazing. What a waste of time. So I'm going to do it again from the beginning. Yeah. So, with this trailer of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the normal procedure is to start with the positive and get to the bad later, but I have to get the bad out of the way first, which is, everybody, including me, has been complaining since MCU Phase 4 that the trademark Marvel humor isn't working the way it used to, like in the Avengers. No. I get that reference. They used to have such good one-liners. The MCU used to have a really good humor, but people have been complaining that it's been faltering, and this trailer is delivering such a perfect example of it. There's like a scene at the end of the trailer. There's Peter Quill is in love with Gamora, but his Gamora died. But the past version of Gamora, he found her, but she doesn't remember falling in love with him. And at the end of the trailer, she has like that scene where she says, that woman that you describe falling in love with, it doesn't sound like me. It sounds more like her, pointing at Nebula. And then there's that moment of Peter Quill giving a glance. Nebula. Like he can imagine it, like he can imagine being in love with her, and I almost spit out my drink because that was such a great moment, such great, perfect example of Marvel MCU humor. Like he looks to the side and it's like, Nebula. That was hilarious. But then it goes on, and on, and on, and on. Like, that scene drags on for like 20 more seconds for no reason. Like, it had that amazing punchline that nearly made me spit out my drink. That was fucking hilarious. That was like peak Marvel humor. And then it goes on and on and on and on, and that's like the fucking problem with Marvel humor since Phase 4. They just don't seem to understand that the joke is over at the punchline. It's like some little kid, like a 5-year-old kid telling you a joke, and the joke is funny and you laugh, and then the kid thinks, oh, the person laughed, so I'm just going to continue talking. Maybe that will make it funnier. No, it doesn't. It just makes it fucking annoying. It's like, yeah, that really annoyed me. But aside from that, I really liked the trailer. I am positive about the trailer. It had the grand evolutionary and the origin story of Rocket Raccoon, both of which was, of course, a big thing in the Guardians of the Galaxy animated series, which I reviewed before, and which I really like. Well, I reviewed seasons 1 and 2 before. I haven't reviewed season 3 yet, but it's a show I enjoy because it's Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's fun. And it's like made like the old Saturday morning cartoons that I grew up with, that it has writing that makes sense to adults, and it has childish jokes that make sense to children, so children can enjoy it and adults can enjoy it, like the 80s, 90s cartoons I grew up with. They have good stories that adults enjoy, and childish jokes that children enjoy, but quite frankly, adults also enjoy. And it's really good at that. It's a great show. I like Guardians of the Galaxy, the animated series. That's a real win, like a really good thing that Disney did, among lots of crappy things, but that really worked. Ultimate Spider-Man is also a show I recommend, but Guardians of the Galaxy, the animated series, that's a great show. And yeah, so the main takeaway from the trailer seems to be that it's about Peter Quill and Gamora, like the past resurrected, not really resurrected, but because she's from the past and time travel stuff, whatever, trying to rekindle their romance they never had because Gamora's from the past, Peter Quill's from the future, blah blah blah. And the other thing is the high evolutionary and the origin story of Rocket Raccoon, and Adam Warlock also seems to be in it, who also appears in Guardians of the Galaxy, the animated series. I can, just recommend that series for a lot of the lore around it, because it seems to be really based on the comics. I wouldn't know personally because I'm not a comic book reader. I'm just a fan of comic book adaptations, and not like a surface level fan who only watches live action movies, but I also watch animated shows. So, but from what I can gather, the Guardians of the Galaxy animated series seems to be pretty oriented on the source material, and it's pretty good, and it's definitely enjoyable. But from the trailer, I can't really tell you what the role of Adam Warlock will be in this, because he only has like a half-second scene flying through the screen, and most of it really seems to be like the origin story of Rocket Raccoon and the High Evolutionary, which can make a great story, and of course the Peter Quill and Gamora. And other than that, the only thing I can tell you, Cosmo the Space Dog is in it, has been replaced by a woman, which I'm sure some people will get outraged by, even though it makes perfect sense, because all the Soviet space dogs were female dogs, because female dogs have a calmer temperament, except my female dog, which is very nervous and hyperactive, but generally female dogs have a more calm temperament, which is why the Soviets used them as space dogs. I'm fine with that. What I'm not so fine with is that Cosmo the space dog apparently seems to be like I read that about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, that Cosmo the space dog is all CGI. And that annoys the fuck out of me, because why not get a dog? Dogs have been Hollywood actors like forever. Like Eddie and Frasier, or Porthos in Star Trek Enterprise, or Lassie, or, dogs can be perfectly fine actors. why the fuck would they do a CGI dog instead of using a dog? People want to see dogs and not CGI things. I want to see a real dog. A dog. Doing dog things. Acting like a dog. A real dog. Not CGI. That annoys me. And I noticed that in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. It's CGI, it's not a dog. You can do it. You can have a dog doing the dog things, and like maybe the idea is that they don't want to put the spacesuit on the dog, but they can make the spacesuit CGI and use a real dog to play the dog. Use a real dog, and not CGI. Use a fucking dog, a real dog. Like, that definitely annoys me. But other than that, and the Marvel humor failure, I thought the trailer was promising. I mean, I don't want to expect too much because, you know, plenty of Phase 4 had promising trailers and then completely shitty movies. And especially starting with Phase 5, I thought Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania had a fucking awesome trailer. And then the movie was not that awesome. It was actually very terrible. I think everybody agrees that it had serious suspension of disbelief issues where every 5 seconds you ask yourself, why is that? How does that work? Why does that work like this? Why does this happen? Why is this like this? That whole movie was just annoying as fuck, but it had a great trailer. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has a great trailer. So I don't want to get my hopes up too much. But maybe, if we're lucky, this will be a good movie. I like a lot of elements in the trailer. I'm skeptical, of course, but it could be good. I'm hoping it will be good. I'm hoping it will entertain me. I'm hoping it will expand the universe that I invested so much in. Yeah, you could call it cautiously optimistic. It looks good. It could be good. Let's see.